Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining at day 3 of our IT Nation virtual event. I'm Brian Downey. I'm the Vice President of Product for our security solutions here at ConnectWise, and I'm extremely excited to kick off this day of cybersecurity. When we think about cybersecurity, cybersecurity is one of the most transformational things I can think of in the MSP space. It provides an opportunity for MSPs to be able to grow revenue and accelerate their trusted advisor role with their clients. And as well as it adds new risks to MSPs, it has to have them think about, what their business is and how they want to address that. What we're going to talk about throughout the whole day today is where we've seen MSPs focus to be successful and what MSPs need to think about and how ConnectWise is trying to help MSPs through that journey of moving from an MSP to an Msp Plus, where they're effectively monetizing that cybersecurity solution. So when we start, we want to think about the opportunity around cybersecurity. And too often with security, you think about the risk associated with it. You have those slides with the hacker wearing the hoodie, and you think about the risks that it has of you and your client being attacked and how it could impact your business. What I really want people to kind of anchor themselves on is the opportunity around security. When we've done work with SMBs, what's come out over and over again is SMBs see security as one of their key priorities. This is an area that they're going to continue to invest this year and moving forward. And that's what really represents that opportunity for SMBs. It's how can they get that investment and how can they capture that and provide those new values to their clients for one of those front of mind problems. And what we've seen in talking to MSPs is we've seen several of them be successful in that path. On average, surveying MSPs, we've seen MSPs on average have accelerated their revenue and grown their revenue in the last 12 months by 32% with just offering security solutions. That's a massive amount if you think about your own business, being able to grow revenue to that extent by providing new offerings that are providing high value to your clients. And the question when you start looking at it is, well, why haven't we seen that with more MSPs? And the reality is with security is there are some real challenges MSPs need to grapple with as they're looking at trying to deploy these solutions. Security is something that there's a lot of complexity in the tools that are required. MSPs need to deploy new features, new functions, new tools, and it creates a level of sprawl where they start having to deal with the management of all of those different tools to start looking at the security of that infrastructure. When they start deploying those tools, they start providing an enormous amount of alerts for the MSP to actually look at and understand if it's actually a valid behavior or if it's something that's anomalous and represents a risk. On average, you see about 1 million alerts per every security incident. So that's a huge volume that MSPs can't really scale to, especially as they're supporting multiple end clients. With that, you also have a new set of domain expertise. It's not just the security domain, but it's also the specific areas of the security, whether it's application security or network security. And being able to have the experts to be able to do that analysis is a challenge for MSPs. And all of this amounts to kind of an increase in costs, which requires MSPs to be able to quickly communicate this to their clients and being able to find ways to be able to help articulate that and monetize that with their clients, to be able to provide them the effective solutions they need, while also being able to cover the costs and driving new revenue based on those solutions. So all of these challenges are something we see over and over again with MSPs being able to try to start looking at that opportunity and really being able to capture it for themselves. And that's what's really driven our vision around security here at ConnectWise. What we really want to provide is the unified security solution that helps MSPs be able to deal with these challenges, that helps them be able to deploy comprehensive and effective security solutions to their clients and do it in a way that they can monetize it and drive extensions to their business based on security. This all starts with that concept of a unified security solution. And what do I mean when I think about unification? Unification is all around looking at all those independent alerts and notifications you have and pulling them together. I mean, this is something we see all over the place in kind of society. I mean, a great example of this was when we saw the recent SpaceX launch. When you started these pictures, and people might have seen this before, the comparison of the cabin of the Dragon aircraft compared to our legacy space shuttles. I mean, it's jarring seeing the difference. And one of the key drivers behind that difference is the legacy space shuttle showed the pilots and astronauts a lot of independent pieces of information. And it provided those so the astronauts could try to pull them together and understand and do calculations on what they need to do. What you see in the SpaceX and the Dragon aircraft is they've been able to take that and consolidate it down to provide astronauts, instead of just the independent pieces of information that they might need to analyze, it provides them the results of that analysis. And that's the difference between siloed and unified. When you think security, you really need to start thinking about a unified approach to security. It requires so many different pieces of information and tools that you need to start being able to consolidate that together, being able to quickly analyze that information and draw conclusions and derive those based on all of that independent information. The other side of unified security is the term security. What does that mean to you? Security is a really, really broad term. And it means different things for different people. When we think about security, we try to look at that holistic picture of security. So we start by thinking about protection. We think about the walls and the barriers you're putting to keep people out of your environments. We want to make sure that our partners have the most comprehensive methods of being able to keep people and protect people from getting in access to their clients' environments and their clients' data. The reality of any good protection architecture is that you have to also assume that it's fallible. You have to assume that at some point your protections will fail. People will get over a wall. People will unlock a door. And then at that point, you need to be able to understand what is happening. How do you understand your environment to the extent where you can understand when something anomalous is happening that could be representative of someone bypassing your protection? And that's the construct of detection. And that's something we go to next, is being able to make sure that we have the most robust and comprehensive tools to be able to detect when something is happening in your environment. When something does happen, we need to quickly be able to understand the extent of what happened and be able to respond and remediate. So we want to give our partners the tools necessary, as well as the support to drive the corrective actions and any changes that need to be made when a security incident does occur. And then lastly but not least, is providing visibility throughout this whole process so people can continue to improve their security ecosystem and deploy the tools that are needed to make sure that events don't happen in the future. So we look at security as this kind of unified and comprehensive solution. Now, when I think about security, we're by no means at the starting line of security. ConnectWise and Continuum independently, as independent companies, had started to approach the security problem over the past 2 or 3 years. And through the acquisition, we now feel that we have one of the most comprehensive security portfolios anywhere in this industry. And if we look at what that portfolio looks like today, it all starts with our Fortify for Assessment tool. Fortify for Assessment is meant to be a client-facing tool. It's something that generates client-facing reports to help you have those key conversations around security and risks with your clients. We use concepts like dark web monitoring to be able to quickly understand risks in a way that resonates with a layperson, someone that doesn't have a security or even an IT background. From there, once you've helped people understand the risks, we built a portfolio of advanced protection tools to help start mitigating and addressing those risks. And this is where Fortify for Endpoint, our advanced EDR, fully managed EDR solution, comes in based on SentinelOne technology, as well as Fortify for Network, a fully managed SIM solution that you can deploy to start understanding the network activity that's happening in your environment. So these advanced protections allow you to start closing some of those risks that assessment highlights. And then lastly, as you start deploying these tools, how do you deal with that tool sprawl? And that's where we have our security management tools come in. Fortify for protection, as well as Identify, being able to provide insights into where the gaps are, help you prioritize what you need to be able to do to help close those gaps, and then being able to, on an ongoing basis, report back to your clients on this. When I think about security, it's not just about the tools, though. It's also about the education and enablement that you have with it. And this is where ConnectWise University and our ConnectWise Certify program comes in. These aren't just trainings in the security space around the tools that we have and how to use them, but it's around how to actually develop your security business, how to actually go out and deploy new security solutions, how to position them, package them to your clients, that full holistic conversation. And then this is all built on the ecosystem of third-party tools that help provide an ability to close any gaps that might be in your environment beyond the more advanced tools that we provide. Now, when I think about this security portfolio, this has been in the market now for about 2 years, and what we've developed is a fairly robust set of protection that we're providing to MSPs today. Today, if I look at our overall security business, we have about 1,500 MSPs that are currently using our solutions to protect over almost 250,000 endpoints. So those are endpoints that our SOC is actively monitoring. Across those endpoints, they're looking at almost 100,000 alerts every single month. And within those 100,000 alerts, they're actually analyzing them and looking at every single one independently. And they're discovering about 1,000 security incidents per month. Those security incidents would probably be largely unidentified if it weren't for the fact that these solutions were in place. And alongside that, we've been able to help educate and provide that enablement to our partners to make sure their resources have the ability to credibly go in and discuss it with their clients. So through our Certify program, we've already certified over 3,000 MSP resources to be able to go out and effectively have those conversations and manage security for their clients. So when I look at this, I wanted to give you a few examples of what some of our partners' experience has been like as they've entered this new frontier with security.
Good morning. My name is Tim Weber. I'm the Director of Security Services for Adnet Technologies. We're an MSP based out of Farmington, Connecticut, with an additional office in Albany, New York. Adnet's been involved in the security space for going on 8 years now. We got into that space really because of client requirements. We were dealing at the time with a lot of folks in the HIPAA space, and obviously not only their HIPAA compliance requirements, but there's a lot of IT security requirements that fell in line with that as well. You know, we face a lot of the same challenges that other MSPs face as they made this transition. You know, a big one being is around getting our sales teams fully educated and able to have that conversation and able to explain, hey, why is security important? Why do you need to do this? And being able to answer that big question of, wait, didn't you do this for us before? The other area that we had some challenges that we had to work through was from a tool set standpoint. So when we first got involved with security, there weren't a lot of MSPs doing security work, so the tool sets were really focused on the enterprise. And as we tried to shoehorn some of those solutions into the MSP space, it was a struggle. We found that it didn't work really well.
Hi, this is Ann Westerheim from Ikaru. We're an MSP in the suburban Boston area. And we've been talking to clients about security since day one, over 15 years ago. And at first it started pretty basic with just security patching and spam filtering. And as the security landscape, the threat landscape has increased, so have our conversations with our customers. And some of our early challenges were that just human nature, this won't happen to me, or I'm a small business, I'm under the radar, or I thought you guys were taking care of everything for us.
So my name is Matt Lee. I'm with Iconic IT. I am the Director of Technology and Security at Iconic IT, and I'm the lead visionary behind our mission to create the modern MSP from a security perspective. Really spent a lot of time rebuilding our house. And we've rewritten all of our packages so that as we take these forward to clients, we have all of the base tools necessary, as well as processes established and training regimens and all of those things built into our packages so that we can help make sure that all of those components get implemented at once. We are willing to lose a client that doesn't want to protect themselves.
And today we have a foundational level of security. And we also talk to all clients about enhanced security, including Fortify for Endpoint. And our goal is to make sure that every client that we work with, every small business, has the opportunity to have the information to make an informed decision about risk and what's right for their business.
We lead with security, so security has developed a lot of new opportunities for us, either for clients that are trying to understand where their security concerns are. Perhaps they've had a security event, or they're just seeing the writing on the wall and they know they need to take it more seriously. And we did that because we recognized that to really be taking care of our clients, security can't be an afterthought. Security had to be core to our business, core to what we do, and you can't do it part-time. So happy to announce that the security space has actually been our fastest growing piece over the last 2 years. The recurring services, as well as our project-based work, has been absolutely through the roof. Our biggest challenge has been keeping up with it and being able to staff accordingly for it.
I think that our clients really appreciate that We take their security, their safety very seriously. They really appreciate that we're willing to answer their questions, talk to them about security.
One of the hardest parts in working with our clients and as a managed service provider in general, in my opinion, is really trying to become that trusted advisor. And that this has been easier when you're bringing, creative answers and you're educating the client on things they're seeing in the news every day. And you're helping them understand they should have a business continuity plan. They should have an incident response plan. They should have advanced protection. They should make sure their backups are functional. All the things that we do for them, we're now starting to be able to align those. That now we've scaled, we're in this massive merger and acquisition space where we really want to bring in a lot of like-minded companies and help them continue to help us gain mass and gain steam on what we're doing to solve this national security crisis. And for me, that's my personal mission.
The security threats haven't gone away. They just haven't been reported as much. It's as we transition to this new remote worker model, there's no reason to believe that these security threats aren't still going to be an issue. And all of us in the MSP space need to be able to adequately address security and be able to help take care of our clients.
So what you just saw is something that's very representative of a lot of the MSPs we talk to, where we see MSPs being able to continue to grow their trusted advisor role, continue to provide high-value services to their clients, and being able to really drive revenue for their business based on the tools that we're offering today. As we look forward, we want to continue to add more power and simplicity in those tools, and that's really what's driving the vision of the Fortify product set and the Fortify platform. When we look, a lot of these constructs are the key things that we're going to be looking at moving forward. It all starts with that unification, being able to provide a centralized view across all of the tools that you're using, simplifying management and providing more concise reporting that's pointed out what your clients might care about. From there, by having that centralized view and centralized information, we can start driving automated and correlated analysis and prioritization, helping MSPs deal with that signal to noise issue and being able to start focusing their activities on the things that really matter. This is all going to continue to be built on an open ecosystem of tools. We want our partners to be able to choose the best of breed tools that make sense for their environments, but we want that to happen in a way that's integrated with a lot of those concepts that I just mentioned. For partners that want to do it themselves, analysis is going to help them reduce that signal to noise. But for those that still want additional assistance, they can leverage our SOC services for expert analysis, as well as assistance with response and remediation where it's required. So having that optionality of SOC services is going to be a core tenet to our platform moving forward. You are going to see us continue to extend our capabilities in the response and remediation space, as well as then focusing in on Msp Threat Intelligence. We want to leverage the information we have by managing so many MSPs and so many end clients to be able to really highlight the issues and allow you to see the issues that are impacting environments that are similar to yours, so you can take action proactively and be able to understand those things earlier through that threat intelligence view. All of those capabilities and constructs I talked about are really going to build the foundation for what we see as the ConnectWise Fortify platform. The ConnectWise Fortify platform is built on that open ecosystem. It's taking and centralizing that data and providing that automated analysis as well as visibility that's going to help enable us to provide the key offerings and capabilities that our partners need. So offerings around integrated protection that have capabilities like tool management, compliance reporting, and vulnerability management. Offerings around incident detection with concepts like SIM and dark web monitoring and threat hunting and MDR, as well as incident management offerings around capabilities like SOAR and incident response. This platform allows us to quickly provide these offerings in a robust way that makes sense for MSPs to be able to give them the tools that they need to effectively protect as well as monetize their clients. Now, the Fortify platform on the security side is fully integrated and built on the ConnectWise platform that you heard Jeff talk about. So with that, we're trying to make sure that we provide an experience that provides a better together story within our tools. So for customers that are using our Fortify platform alongside Manage or Command, it's going to allow them to see the information across those tools and provide more effective solutions so they can do things in a more automated and streamlined fashion. So that's our long-term vision, but we're also focusing on a lot of that today. So I wanted to focus in on 3 areas that we're looking at in 2020 to really start advancing this vision and starting to see some of the unique pieces of it. So I wanted to start with enablement and education. I wanted to hand over to Jay Ryerson to be able to help understand a little more about some of the things that we're doing and some of the things that are coming up around enablement and education.
Hi everybody, Jay Ryerson here, VP of Cybersecurity Initiatives at ConnectWise. I want to thank you for joining us at IT Nation Explore, and we've got some great content here to talk about today. So when we talk about cybersecurity and the path and the journey that our partners are going through, we hear the same conversation from partners as they work their way through it. Things like, how do I build a culture of cybersecurity in our practice? What does governance, risk, and compliance look like to us, and where does it impact our business? How do we build our stack? Like, what technology matters and what does it look like? And of course, once you've got your stack figured out, how do you package and price it? And then most importantly, how do you talk to your clients about cybersecurity? Especially when they think that you own the risk and that you're already providing cybersecurity solutions to them as part of your managed service solution. Next, incident response. Right? What happens if something bad were to happen? When we came over from the Continuum acquisition, when we were adopted by ConnectWise into the ConnectWise family, one of the first things we looked at was the security journey asset. Now, it's out in the ConnectWise University, and it really gives you a roadmap to what good looks like and what that path is to get there as a service provider. We were really excited about this because it aligned perfectly with what we were doing with teaching MSPs and TSPs about how to build a cybersecurity practice. And we've since recorded that content, and that's now out in the university as well. That's kind of an intro to cybersecurity for your team and help you start down the path of delivering secure services. Now, that was all great, and we were excited about this information. And then Jason came along and grabbed a group of us together and said, hey, we need to go bigger. We need to do more for our partners. And one of the first things we probably should solve for is, what is Msp Plus? See, ConnectWise has been talking about it for a while, and a few other people have tried to adopt that terminology. And so we sat back and worked through what it means. And the reality is that Msp Plus is Msp Plus Cybersecurity. It's going from MSP to delivering essential cybersecurity solutions to your clients long before you try to become an MSSP, right, a managed security service provider. And we believe that our industry is positioned well to deliver that MSP plus cybersecurity solutions out to their clients. So as we looked closer, the next question was, well, where do we do it and how do we do it? So Craig mentioned in his keynote, talked about IT Nation Connect and Explore and Evolve and Share and what those mean. And the decision is that we should deliver cybersecurity into the IT Nation to help ignite success for our partners. And so we are excited to announce IT Nation Secure. Now, inside of Secure, okay, now what? Like, we got a really cool name, but what do we do with this? And so we grabbed a lot of really smart people from inside the company and even friends of the company and started looking at what the issues were that you were facing and what it meant to move forward with cybersecurity. And one of the key things we noticed is that there's more than 50 cybersecurity frameworks out there in different geos around the world, and none of them were really focused on helping the MSP community align to what good looks like. So the first thing we developed, and I'm proud to announce today, is the Msp Plus Cybersecurity Framework. The IT Nation Cybersecurity Framework is designed for MSPs and defines what good cybersecurity looks like. It's supported by a maturity model focused on guiding the service provider towards cybersecurity success. Now, what is that framework and what does it look like? Well, there's several components to it. The first of which is the overview. It tells you what it is and why it's important and some of the critical components that exist in the framework. Talks about the good, better, best model that we've built into it to help you in your journey towards cybersecurity. Inside the actual framework itself, we're giving you that fundamental, the advanced, and the master level data as to what that framework is and what you're trying to get to. And it's focused on MSPs to actually help you figure out how am I going to implement this and put it in place in your practice. And the what is important, but the how is actually more important to me. So I'm excited to let you know that we're also rolling out the Msp Plus playbooks, which are the how-to guides on delivering the cybersecurity framework. Today, you can go out and download at connectwise.com/MSP framework, the Book 1 Fundamentals. This is where everybody needs to start to help build that proper cybersecurity package. From there, we actually dive into details and show you what's in the book. Like, we're walking through where this aligns to NIST, where it aligns to CIS, and where it's just content that's specific to MSPs that you can roll out and should be implementing in your practice effective immediately. And if we all rally around this, we really can drive the right cybersecurity for our customers, because that's what they're asking for. Now, you can take my word that what's in the Msp Plus playbook is valuable, but we also talked to a lot of partners who helped us develop this and got feedback from them. My favorite came recently from Chris Lair, the Executive Vice President and CTO of Solace Security. He said that from his perspective, MSPs have been looking for clear direction on where to go for cybersecurity. What the IT Nation Secure team has created is a recipe for success for understanding and delivering secure services. And that's exactly what we believe we've created. You guys can download this right now at connectwise.com/MSP framework. So we've got the framework. We understand what good looks like. The next thing is education. Now, a lot of you know already that we had rolled out the Certify cybersecurity education in advance of the IT Nation Secure announcement. As a matter of fact, more than 3,000 partners have gone through it this year. And it's truly that fundamental security, that how to implement security in your practice, both from an engineering and from a sales perspective. Next, let's talk about ConnectWise Certify. Initially, we've got our Certify fundamentals for sales and for engineers. These courses are actually free for MSPs. You guys can go out today to connectwise.com/certify and get your team scheduled into the upcoming events later this summer. Now, I've given you a quick course outline here as to what they'll learn, but these are full day boot camp style crash course fundamental security that really helps build the foundations for what your team needs to move it forward in the Msp Plus cybersecurity framework. Now, if you're not aware of this, we've got some upcoming trainings available. We've got them in all 3 geos, meaning North America, Europe, and Australia and New Zealand. Here are the ones for North America that you can go out and register for today, and these are free. Some of the testimonials and feedback from partners have gone through it already. Bill from Kinetics Group said that it was the best sales training he's ever done. Lori from Key Methods said that she was grateful it was offered at no cost to partners. Harry from Business Computer Solutions said that we've helped him shape his path on the cybersecurity journey. And from Complete IT, Dan Scott said that it's game changers for his MSP. We'd like to believe it's a game changer for all MSPs. It's a place to start, and it's a way forward in driving cybersecurity in your practice. So we've got the framework, we've got the cybersecurity education, and of course it wouldn't be IT Nation without a party. So we're excited to announce the IT Nation Secure events. Several of these coming up here in the near future. The first of which we're announcing is Secure Live. That'll be tied into the IT Nation Connect in November, and details on that will follow shortly after IT Nation Explore. We're also rolling out the security briefings. These will be monthly events held on the third Thursday of each month, where we're going to talk about what's happening in cybersecurity, what's new. We're going to bring in some industry heavyweights, talk about what they're seeing in the marketplace, and provide you some new and upcoming information on the most recent threats, so your team is aware of these before they cause pain and harm to your business. Ultimately, in IT Nation Secure events, we're working to help you build a better practice. From reducing your risk and growing your margins to configuration tips and best practices, we're here to help you guys keep growing in cybersecurity. Because as you know, it's a journey, it's not a destination. So, IT Nation Secure, Msp Plus Cybersecurity Framework, supported by Certify Cybersecurity Education and the IT Nation Secure events. Today, all you've got to do is go out to the Msp Plus playbook, get that downloaded from connectwise.com/MSP framework, and all the other information will follow suit so you guys can get started. So with that playbook, you're going to get the overview, the framework, and the playbook to share with your team today. If you're new to this journey and you're not sure where to go, obviously IT Nation Secure now is a one-stop shop for all things cybersecurity, as well as the ConnectWise University, where a lot of this content will live and exist for our partners. I'm Jay Ryerson, VP of Cybersecurity Initiatives. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay secure.
Thanks, Jay. So Jay just helped us understand some of the things that are coming right around the corner with enablement and education, how we're helping MSPs have the capabilities around being able to build out that cybersecurity business. But we also have some new things coming on the product side. being able to really focus in on some of the key areas that MSPs might need to provide solutions for their clients to make sure that they're effectively protected. The first one of those is the Office 365 space. We all know about the prolific growth that we've seen from going from on-prem Microsoft products to the SaaS versions. Along with that, we've also seen a growth in that as an attack vector. That's what drove us to introduce one of the products that Jeff talked about yesterday in the product keynote, which is our Fortify for SaaS Security offering. Our Fortify for SaaS Security offering is coming out in the next few weeks, and it's really focused on providing a solution that's going to help monitor and manage all of that Microsoft SaaS architecture. So this isn't just looking at email, it's looking at concepts like SharePoint, and we're looking at all the threats that come in from Microsoft 365 to be able to analyze those. We're looking at having our SOC actually correlate information across those to quickly identify which ones are truly compromises and being able to actually take the corrective actions when those situations occur. This is all powered by Perch. And what we've done is we've built native analysis on top of that, as well as visibility to be able to see all of these in unique ways that help an MSP provide this solution to their clients, as well as show the value that their clients are getting from monitoring this key attack vector. This is something that if you want more information, you're going to see a lot more of this in the breakouts this afternoon, especially the product roadmap breakout, where they'll be showing some of this in a lot more detail. Another area that you're seeing an increased focus on the product side is around our assessment product. I mentioned our assessment product a little earlier. Our assessment product is really focused on helping generate those initial conversations with clients. This has been very, very effective. When we've seen partners that are using our assessment tools, they've actually grown about 350% their security deployments in the first 9 months after they started using the assessment tool. A lot of the constructs of assessment started out with dark web and configuration. But when we talked to MSPs about this, what we saw is it was commonly used alongside other tools trying to look at vulnerability information in their environments and being able to pull these together to provide a more comprehensive view. So what you're going to be seeing coming over the next couple months later in Q3 is vulnerability information actually integrated into our assessment product. This is going to allow you to have all of this information in a client-facing view in a single place that's really easy to consume. It won't require any post-processing or copying and pasting into reports. It's meant to be something you can hand to your clients to provide them that holistic view and being able to share that with them to be able to start that conversation around security. This is going to be coming later in Q3, but there's going to be a lot more information coming out about this. So people that want to join webinars to understand a lot more detail, people that want to get early access to this product in beta forms, or even have reports run and be able to see those reports, you can go to the website here, ConnectWise/Fortify Assessments, and there you can sign up for more information that you can leverage to be able to understand more about this prior to it actually being released in the next couple months. So along with the education and enablement we have, and along with the key extensions that we're doing, we also want to make sure all of this is consumable. We understand the challenges an MSP has as they're trying to enter the security space. We understand it's really hard to sometimes predict what you're going to need and what you're going to have to leverage and kind of invest ahead of that solution while you're sitting there and talking to your clients about it. And with that, what we've introduced recently is our Msp Plus Foundation pack. The Msp Plus Foundation pack is really focused on really providing you all the things that you're going to need to be able to enter this security space as an MSP in a simple, easy to consume package. What we've provided here is we've provided our assessment tool. We've provided all the capabilities to have those initial conversations with your clients. We've provided the enablement and education, access to our Certify program, all that to make sure that your resources can actually effectively have these conversations. And we're doing it in conjunction with our customer success teams to make sure that you can effectively go through and help clear out any barriers in that process. And then we're also providing you access to the tools to sell to your clients. So we're providing 400 licenses of a Fortify for endpoint, as well as now 400 licenses to Fortify for SaaS security. That's all in a single package that you can take and leverage and help try to drive your security business. This is all packaged for the first 6 months. We provide this at $600. It's about an 80% discount on the independent tools, trying to really reduce that hurdle, trying to help customers be able to invest in a small way to be able to really start developing and growing that security business. In addition to that, as part of Explore, what we're actually doing is we're providing people access to this in a method where they can actually cancel if it's not a fit for them. So for anyone that signs up from Explore, you can actually take this and leverage it, and you won't get your first bill until July 31st. And anytime before that first bill, you have the ability to cancel, and it's going to have no commitment at that point, and it's going to have no penalties for cancellation. So you can go to the link here, ConnectWise/Explore Foundation Pack, and you can sign up for that and be able to start leveraging this today. And again, cancellation for free before July 31st. So with that, we've tried to give you a view of the vision of where we're going. We've tried to look at how these products are going to come together to be able to provide what we think is going to be the most comprehensive and effective solution for MSPs to really launch themselves into the security business. We've continued to see a success from that. We think with some of the existing, the new features that we have coming out, we're going to continue to see people be able to accelerate this journey and help get them to that MSP Plus space. And for those that are already there, being able to expand the value that they're offering to their clients. With that, over the next couple of days, you have a lot, or next couple hours, you have a lot more information that's going to be coming. There's several breakout sessions around different aspects of security, whether it's the roadmap, the tools, the way what our SOC is seeing in security. I'd encourage you to go and join those. Also, tomorrow we have our MSP Geek panel keynote. I mean, that's just going to be a great experience where Brett Sherlock's going to be able to really talk with some of the people that are active in that MSP Geek forum and be able to understand some of the things that they see and the experience that they're having. Also, I'd encourage you this afternoon to join the wrap-up and live leadership interviews. Today, you're going to see the post-sales team really engaging and being able to ask them questions. So folks like Jeffrey Willison and his team, you can really understand some of the things that they're experiencing. And then lastly but not leastly, if you have any questions or you need any information from this keynote, you can go to connectwise.com/keynote, and it's going to provide all of that information. So I want to thank you for joining this keynote, and we're really excited about the path that we're seeing MSPs on around security. I'd encourage you to join the breakout sessions, and if you have any questions or any follow-ups, feel free to reach out to myself or any of our ConnectWise colleagues.